You're listening to the Geriatric Mamas Podcast with Jessica Rosiri
and Sonia Tapley.
Okay, so I know I was late today, but I brought a peace offering.
Oh my god.
I brought a pickle pizza.
A pickle pizza.
It's a pickle pie is what it's called. It's a pickle pie.
It's so funny because I saw that at Target the other day and I was like, maybe I need it, maybe I don't. But I wasn't in that exact moment.
You absolutely needed it.
I wanted olives. I didn't want pickles. And
Oh,
so
I see. The flavors that you were just like needing.
So I decided to venture into the frozen pizza aisle and I saw a Kalamata olive feta.
Ooh.
And I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab this. And then I never ended up cooking it. It's just still in my freezer. So we have that option.
Yeah, well, that's great. It was on an end cap and I was with my mom and I just like literally immediately was like, I need this. And she's just like, oh, okay. And I just like stared at her like, do you have a problem? Is there a problem here?
You're like, I'm going to force feed this to you.
I'm like, this looks delicious. And there was, oh my gosh, there was this guy. He's like, oh, the pickle pie. I saw that. He's like, I almost got that the other day. It looks so good. And then I was thinking to myself, am I pregnant? It was really funny.
I wonder if anyone else that we know has tried that particular one.
Well, then the cashier that was ringing it in, she's just like, I've cashed out a few people with these, and I have yet to find somebody who's actually tried it yet. She's like, so when you try it, if you see me again, please come in my aisle and please tell me how it is.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody had so many comments to say about this pickle pizza. It was like she's getting the pickle.
Go back
it's like
and
people
have like 5.
Yeah, they're on like their report, like, oh, she just grabbed the pickle pizza. Burnett just grabbed a pickle pizza. Everybody be on alert.
Yeah.
Make note.
Hopefully it's delicious. If not, we'll have to break out the olive one.
I think that if it's not delicious, it's because it was a frozen one. But we've been seeing a bunch of like Instagram pickled pizzas. And then Tiffany just got, was it like a food truck or at a restaurant?
I don't remember.
We were just talking about it, and then she found one, and then it just had this like dill drizzle over it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my mouth is watering.
So
and so
good.
we were just talking about it, and then it's like the universe is like, oh, you want a pickled pizza? Oh, you're on a budget? Here you go. Here's a frozen pickled pizza.
Frozen one from Target.
Absolutely. So so I think that if it's not good, it's just because it's frozen. But we're gonna try again. We're not gonna like shame pickle pizzas. This isn't like the true test. This is just like a little tease.
What we'll have to do, we'll have to go to like pizza places that have it and like compare.
I wonder if, I wish there was a California pizza kitchen out here, because I
wish there was
feel
too.
like
really
they
good,
probably would have a
have
solid
really good
pickle
options.
pizza. But yeah, we'll have to find where we can get like, I bet we can like, or maybe we can have a night where we make our own pizzas and we can make our own pickle pizza.
Yeah, that would be good. I'll ask my sister-in-law where she gets her pizza doughs from, because hers are good.
My love for pickles, it'll never die. It's so strong.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, I could live off of pickles.
I kind of want to get, I usually like girl dogs, but part of me wants to get a boy pug just so I can name him Pickles, like Sir Pickles or Mr. Pickles.
Oh my god.
Sir Pix-a-lot. I don't know.
You can totally
We'll
get
work
a
with
girl
it.
and name her Pickles.
No, I feel like it's a boy name.
It is.
Pickles.
Oh my god, it's so funny. That would be a good name for a pug.
I know, it'd be so cute. Mr. Pickles. Like, so cute. Is that not so cute?
It is. I can see it for a Frenchie, too.
Yeah, or even a pig. Oh my god, a pet pig.
Oh my
A
God,
pig named
Pickles.
Pickles? Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's reminding me of Moana right now, because that's what Annabelle was watching this morning.
I definitely need some kind of animal so I can name him Mr. Pickles.
A boy animal, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, well, Martin,
It needs to be, it can't be a cat. It's
Yeah,
not a
no,
cat.
'cause
It's
it
very much
doesn't look like-
it's a grunting, snorting,
Yeah.
squish-faced dog.
Yeah,
Or a pig.
yeah, for sure.
Of some kind.
I know, I was gonna say cat, but then I was like envisioning Martin, and I'm like, he's not a Mr.
No,
Pickles.
no, cats are more royalty, I feel. Cats need more of like a,
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
a royalty name. And then this just like, Mr. Pickles. Come here, Mr. Pickles.
He's like,
So good.
Here come mama.
So my coworker, like speaking about adorable squishy face animals, my coworker, I've worked with her now for like going on like 10 years or over 10 years at this point, 2 different companies. And when I first was introduced to her, we'd be on Zoom calls or whatever, and she'd be talking about Stuart, and she'd be like, oh my god, Stuart like has like the worst gas today, like what the hell. I thought like Stuart was her boyfriend, and I was like, she is so mean to Stuart. Like, what the hell? Like, she's just like out here airing out his business, talking about it blatantly, and then like she'd come back on, she's like, sorry, Stuart like got into the trash again. I'm like, what is wrong with him?
Right,
like,
she's really babysitting
what
this
is
man.
happening to this man?
Yeah.
Like, is she okay? Well, Stuart. Oh, and then she'd be like, Stuart needs to go out again, or Stuart whatever. And then finally I was like, what? Where is he going? And then I realized, like, Stuart, yeah, it's a French bulldog named Stuart.
Oh my god, that's so cute. I love it.
It's perfect. It's so good.
I love it so much.
I know. I was like, I love that story so, because like for the longest time, and I even told her that, I was like, for the longest time, it was months. It was probably like for the good portion of the first year of knowing her, I truly believed that Stuart was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and
Does she know this?
and she'd be like saying all these cute things about him, but then she'd say things that are a little weird, and I'd be like, what? Like, is he special? Like,
And like, think
what's
about
going
the
on?
perspective that we had back then, because like back then we had boyfriends.
yeah.
We didn't have kids, so like
Right.
if it were today,
Oh, then
you
I
might
then I
think
would have
was, like-
assumed it was a child.
Right. You
Yeah,
might
you're
think
right.
it-
Yeah, no, I 1000%, my mind wasn't thinking child. It was
Yeah.
thinking a grown-ass man
Right.
that she was dating.
yeah, he was giving her a run for her money.
Yeah, and no, it was just an adorable little squishy face.
That is so funny.
I know, I love that story so much. But yeah, so I'm gonna put it in the universe. I'm gonna add it to my manifest list. Mr. Pickles. He's coming.
Yeah, he is. And you know, I love boy dogs so much. Like, Teach is just so loyal to me.
The marking.
Oh, he never
is
did
the
that.
thing.
Cheech never marked when he was younger, and we didn't get him fixed until he was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Because the people who originally had him, they actually wanted him to be a stud, so they like purposely didn't fix him. And then we were like, I don't know, he's doing fine without marking. But then we're like, it's more healthy for him to be fixed.
Yeah.
So we fixed him.
It's so hard because the only few male dogs that I've ever had have had marking issues.
Really?
But the male dogs that I've had, it's not really fair because they started off as strays. So, like, it's kind of hard.
Right, they've had like
Yeah.
previous experiences where maybe they had cause for that.
Yeah.
Maybe they were worried another dog was going to steal their food or something.
And I know that, like, part of the reason, too, why especially a male dog will mark is it's because they are establishing their territory.
Yeah.
And so if you walk them more and they can establish their boundary around the house, they won't
Right.
do it in the house.
Yeah.
But like, let's be honest, I gravitate towards pugs and
Yeah.
dogs that have breathing issues for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to get out there at 7 a.m. and go
Like,
for a
go
brisk
for a
walk with my
walk.
dog. Like,
I don't
that's
think
not me.
yeah.
That's never going to be me. Like, I would love that in another life if that was me, but it's this current life that's not me. And I know that about myself. And so I gravitate towards respiratory issues for a reason.
You gotta get that unhealthy dog.
Yeah. I need to get one that's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, he's so cute.
Like, immediately needs surgery as soon as they're born.
Oh shit.
God.
All right. Well, should we get into this?
So today we are exploring an important topic for many of us, which is finding the right job while practicing attachment parenting.
For many of us, attachment parenting is more than just a set of practices. It's a philosophy that emphasizes bonding, trust, and nurturing. Key practices like demand feeding, co-sleeping, and continuous engagement can sometimes feel at odds with traditional job structures. The need for presence and flexibility is high, and many of us wonder how to balance this with a fulfilling career. Mamas, I love a full and silky texture in my face creams because they feel so healing and comforting to my dry, thirsty skin. Well, the award-winning, best-selling, lightweight moisture release water cream by Honest Beauty called Hydrogel Cream refreshes and cools my skin on application and leaves a dewy finish. As I mentioned on the Hope episode, Kathy's Story, I love mixing Hydrogel Cream into my foundation for a healthy looking glow. Infused with jojoba and squalene to help hydrate and soothe thirst, plus 2 sizes of hyaluronic acid to help soften and firm, reducing the appearance of fine lines. Honest Beauty's Hydrogel Cream will provide a beautiful glow for very dry skin. We're leaving the link below in our show notes. Drink up, mamas.
Mamas, I want to have rosé all day. have fun and let myself live a little without feeling drunk or feeling hungover the next day. So I treat myself by adding rosé tinted glasses to my sparkling water or lemonade. If you're like me and you're looking for calm daytime energy while feeling alert, present, and uplifted because, well, you know, you're a mom now. Adaptogenic and antioxidant-rich ingredients make rosé tinted glasses from Apothecary great for those battling feelings of stress and looking to curb signs of aging with improved skin tone and moisture. Its tincture format makes it easy to drop wherever you're making it. It's perfect for busy working moms, busy stay-at-home moms who are looking for mood and energy support on the go. We're leaving a link below and in our show notes. So cheers, mamas! So let's talk about some job opportunities that might align well with an attachment parenting lifestyle. There are remote work opportunities. Many companies now offer remote positions in fields like writing, graphic design, programming, and online tutoring. These roles provide flexibility, allowing you to work from home and schedule your day around your family needs. A potential downside is setting boundaries when work is just a room away. I mean, and then there's the flip side, because I've had a couple of friends message me and they're like, do I do laundry at lunch?
Yeah.
Or do I do laundry between calls?
No, you do laundry at lunch. Well, you do laundry whenever you can do laundry. That's the like the perks of working remotely.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I will say setting boundaries, that is hard. Like I have been working from home now since COVID, and I never want to go back into an office ever again in my entire life.
Right. Like, how did we live?
It's not for me.
How did we get things done?
Yeah, but the whole setting boundaries thing, it's a fine line. In the beginning, I was definitely working like 60, 70-hour work weeks because like I just kept going. I'm like, work is right here. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then I was getting burnt out very fast. It was awful. And so I literally make a task, a to-do list for myself during the day. And then once I've accomplished everything on the list, and of course, you're going to have different days, different fires are going to come in. And like, as long as I've achieved everything on my list, handled any necessary fires, and I feel good, and it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever, I close my laptop and I am done.
Yeah.
And I'll let like a few of my coworkers know, like, hey, logging off for the day, ping me if you need anything. They never do.
Yeah.
There's usually never, it's very rare that there's something crazy happening.
Right.
But that's what I have to do, but it is hard because it is like staring at you. You never really leave work.
Right.
So that is kind of a hard adjustment. But the perks of it, to me, there's so many perks that outweigh that one thing that I'm like, I don't care. I will deal with it. I love the fact that I can wear pajamas. I don't always have to like look cute. I don't always have to do full makeup.
Yeah.
I can have a slow morning.
With a cute top.
Yeah. It's great. I've taken so many meetings with Hayden on my lap, and like the team loves it. They're like, "Oh, Hayden," and he's just like clapping and hamming it up and like being super cute. So
I love it when dogs and cats pop in too.
I know.
My cats usually make an appearance on the podcast.
A lot of fully remote positions are super. They encourage that kind of stuff because one, you don't have the camaraderie that you normally would going into the office every day and building that rapport and seeing different personalities and hearing about your life. And so when you're working virtually, it's very easy to be like, this computer is talking some shit right now. And it's like, no, it's a human. There's a human behind those words. And so when you're on these meetings and they show you their dogs, they show you their kids, or you see like a significant other walk by or hand them a coffee, and you're just like, oh, they're a real person. Like, they have a life. This is cool. Like, it just humanizes it a little bit more. So they encourage that kind of stuff.
Right. And like one thing that I did miss during COVID and like even in my remote job before then was like having working lunches because it was always like a bonding time where like we got to know each other even more. And so one thing that my company did that was really cool was they would do like after work happy hours. And like sometimes it was really fun. So
I'm actually in the process of, I've been literally talking about this for like several months now, and I need to just do it. My follow through on this particular thing is just not great. But I am trying to do a virtual team happy hour where I go through everybody's astrological sign and talk about like their communication styles, what motivates them, like different triggers, things to avoid, like how to whatever. So,
Yeah.
and I also thought it would be cute to like come up with different cocktails and like mocktails based on their signs.
Yeah.
And like, so it's like the earth signs, probably something like, I don't know, cloves and notes of like, I don't know, amaretto. I don't know. And then it's like air signs might be tequila. Who knows? Like, who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I just think that would be like so much fun.
Yeah.
So
There are ways to make it more human. That's for sure. Part-time and job sharing roles is another option. Consider part-time roles or job sharing positions in fields like education or healthcare. These can be a great way to maintain a professional life while keeping manageable hours. And I know there's a lot of healthcare professionals that can do on-call. And then there's, and so then basically they're working their work schedule around their personal life, which is amazing. I don't know a lot about like the education part of that, but there's like substitute teaching and stuff like that.
that's what I
too.
was thinking when it
Yeah.
said like job sharing is like substitute teacher or
Or like tutoring.
yeah.
Well,
Well, we're gonna
tutoring
talk
is
about
now.
tutoring, right?
Yeah,
is
we
that another
are.
one?
You're right.
Yeah.
I think so. And then there's always entrepreneurship if you have a business idea or a crafty side project you've wanted to turn into a little side hustle. Many moms have found success starting businesses that not only generate income but align with their parenting values.
Like blogging,
Yeah,
becoming
blogging.
like a blogger, a momfluencer, selling different things on Etsy. My colleague actually, she is no longer working with me, but she is considering creating like an Instagram feed where it's about like things that I'm into right now, or like kind of like not necessarily just like what she's wearing, like outfits, but you see a lot of influencers do that where it's all like affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
But she wants to do like, she likes these drinks are called like long drinks, or like a certain purse that she just got, or a certain brand of makeup that she just started trying. And
Yeah.
basically, and she's already naturally a very influential person. So
Yeah.
I feel like she's gonna like do really well with this.
Yeah.
But just something like that too could be
Right.
fun.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be super hard.
No.
Like, look at memes. And
I know.
She's like,
It's literally just
thriving.
recording her life
Right.
and her silly. We talked about it in her episode, and
Yeah.
because we were like, "How'd you get into it?" And she's just like, "Well, I have these twins. I have a crazy husband. I have a crazy life." And just looking around, and didn't she say she would like naturally just do funny videos and then
Yeah.
realize that like, wait a minute, like
Right.
there's money here.
Yeah. Like, 'cause she like started out because she really liked photography. And
Yeah.
taking
Oh,
cute
that's what it
pictures of
was.
her kids,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Look at this like craziness that's happening in my life."
Yeah. And then she realized that people were really like gravitating towards that. People love raw and crazy.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I learned with doing when we were fixing up my house, and I was very active on our Texas Fixer Upper feed. It started off where I was like really showing all the craziness and everything, and people really liked that.
Yeah.
But me wanting things to be visually beautiful and aesthetically pleasing was finally like, for the love, I need this to be pretty.
Yeah.
And so I started just showing the pretty stuff, and I actually noticed I was losing I was losing engagement, I was losing followers. I was still doing okay, but then I noticed, so I'm like, okay, so your feed can be pretty, but in the carousel, you need to be
Yeah.
able to show some of the bullshit,
has to
because
be
that's
normal.
the stuff people
Yeah.
want to see. They don't want to see just like the
Right.
filtered Instagram, like, oh, it's perfect. It's like, no, it fucking isn't. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not perfect.
They want relatable.
I did a reel where I was showing, it's just like, okay, like, yeah, everybody's like, oh my God, your house looks great. Okay, but honestly, 5 days a week, this is what it looks like. And I
Yeah.
literally showed this like disaster of like a bomb. There was
Yeah.
laundry, there's like toys, there's dishes, all like, it's just like, this is the reality.
Right.
So
Exactly.
cute, right? Is it
Yeah.
cute?
Yeah. No, it's perfect. I love it. They like relatable.
Yeah.
And then there's family-friendly employers. Super important. Look for companies that are recognized for their family-friendly policies. Extended family leave, flexible hours, and on-site childcare can make a huge difference.
One thing to note about this, since I'm a recruiter, and one thing that I tell my candidates is, unfortunately, because it is catching on, everybody, obviously, well, this part isn't catching on, it's a no thing. The majority of people, they have been working remotely for a while, and you either love it or you hate it. You either want to go back to work and you want to be in an office and you want to get the hell out of the house, or you're like, I'm thriving, leave me alone. And so employers are understanding, but one of the things that COVID and working from home has taught people is the value of work-life balance and being very like making time for your family. And so a lot of companies have realized this. And so a lot of times you're going to see on like the career page of employers, we're family oriented.
Yeah.
They're not always.
Right.
And so that's kind of hard. So what I tell my candidates to do is they should have a presence on social media. A lot of times the employers that truly are family oriented and truly do value work-life balance, they can organically share it and they have fun with it, and they usually have a presence on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
And so for me, unless it's like healthcare, I wouldn't expect them to. But for me, it kind of is a red flag if they don't have any social media presence to back that up.
Yeah.
But you should be able to go to their social feeds
Yeah.
and see, like, are they going on happy hours? Do you see bring your kid to work day? Are they going
Yeah.
to dog parks? Are people showing like cute like family photos? Are they celebrating like internal like milestones like birthdays and anniversaries and
Right.
you know, stuff like that? That is a really good indicator of a company that truly does balance work-life balance
Good to know.
and family.
That's really good.
When Sonia went through some structure changes with her former employer, which ultimately led to her being laid off, she decided to postpone transferring to another role within the company or their partner companies to start the podcast. Thanks. Which aligns with her parenting style, and now she has love principles as well. So I know that we've talked about this in a few of the past episodes, but for purposes of today's conversation, I'm just going to ask you here, what led you to attachment parenting and how has it influenced your career choices?
So for attachment parenting, it became evident that with Annabelle specifically, anytime we put her down to take a nap or anything, she would only lay there by herself for like 5 minutes before getting restless. And then when she finally fell asleep after restlessness, she would only sleep for like 20 to 30 minutes. And it was like she had FOMO or something. She was like listening for any sound of human life around her. And as soon as she heard it, she was wide awake and just like instantly was letting you know she was wide awake, like crying or babbling or whatever. So we weren't getting any time to ourselves. We weren't getting any time where we felt like we were able to get anything done. So I started basically just either wearing her in a sling or having her sleep on me. And it worked out really well. And I just started realizing, like, babies need you. They need you for a reason. You are their safe place. Eventually, she's going to learn how to sleep without being on me. But right now is not the time. She just came out of my belly. Like, she's... all she knows is me. So as far as career choices, I mean, I did work solidly for 2 years for a corporation, but half of that was completely remote, and then the other half was going in store and halfway remote. So it kind of was able to be flexible with my schedule with Annabelle. But once I did lose my position, I was like, I want to be able to get out the door and at a comfortable pace for her, and I know what that is, and I want to be able to schedule my work around that.
And there's a lot of people are coming forward, and there's a lot of studies around not rushing, like not rushing your child. And it's like, I know I grew up constantly being rushed. We all did, right? Like, get out the door. We have to be here now. And it's like my whole, I don't want to say, I feel like that's so dramatic to say my whole childhood was rushed.
Yes.
So
like,
aggressive.
Our parents were under
but
pressure.
like they were under so much pressure, and like that's just the case. And especially with like having to go into the you know, we've talked about this, but it's like there's so much pressure on moms. Like you have to be a full-time employee in office. You're expected to also be like running the household. You're supposed to be super mom. You're supposed to be present for all these sports things, and they have to be in 5 million places all at the same time.
Right.
And like all by themselves.
Yeah.
And so like no wonder they're rushing.
Right.
No wonder it's a constant like, let's go, we gotta go, go. And that's one thing that I cherish right now with my current job situation with working remotely is the fact that I can have slower mornings, because mornings are crazy. Neither Hayden and I are morning people. We're not. And like the fact that I'm able to get myself some coffee, check my emails while my child is waking up to Miss Rachel and like just getting out all of his like grumpies and everything that he needs to get out, and then like eat his breakfast, and then by the time he starts waking up is when I'm starting to really like kick it off in my day. And then it's like we just have our whole little like routine in the morning, and it would be absolutely terrible and traumatizing if I had to quickly hurry him out the door. He would be kicking and screaming, bloody murder. It would be a huge tantrum. I would leave upset. He would leave me upset. It would set the tone for the day.
There were so many times I would drop Annabelle off and I would just drive to wherever I had to go sobbing, because it's like, it's really hard, because when they're, you know, tiny littles, when they're toddlers, they just want their mom, and it's part of their development. It's normal. And whatever kind of mourning that means for you, it's just, you have to be able to have that flexibility to drop them off for work and know that they're happy, because if not, you're going to be like heartbroken.
Right. So can you share some practical tips that you've used to balance work and parenting?
It's different, obviously, for everyone, but for me personally, what has worked has been being able to schedule things around our morning. And so if, say for Love Principles, I have the ability to completely set the times for when people can schedule with me. So for most days of the week, they can start scheduling with me at 11 and then stop scheduling with me at like 4:30. So my latest appointment would run until 5:30, just because it's an hour long. So I have the ability to do that. And then I have one day a week that I keep Annabelle home with me during the actual work week, and we go and do things on like a weekday that we can't really do on the weekends. So I'm able to make that schedule for myself, which is really important. And Annabelle gets her mommy time, and she gets her daddy time, and she gets her grandparents time, and we get our together family time.
When I didn't have the help that I have now, which is like so amazing of the support team that I have right now, but when it was just Hayden and I oh my gosh, like it's a godsend that he was such a passionate sleeper, and he still is, but like for a long time he was all about those dual naps. And I literally, what I would do is I would schedule out my days, because I knew around the time that he'd be going down for his naps, and I would cluster all my calls and all my meetings. My morning meeting, it was internal. It didn't really matter if he was in the background doing the absolute most. It was fine. But like the morning naps usually were anywhere between like 11. He would usually be ready to go down around like 11, and he would sleep for like an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And so I would crank out all these phone calls, and then he'd wake up, and I would like, right around the time that I knew he was going to start waking up is when I'd start getting his, like, preheat the oven or start doing stuff to get his lunch going. And then I'd get him lunch, get him set up with like crayons or like a Montessori toy or whatever. And then I would like respond to all the emails and basically like all the calls that I had done in them, because I'm a recruiter, so this is just how my job flowed. But all my phone calls, then it would be like an hour or two where I didn't have to be on the phone. So like it can be loud, it'd be crazy, and I would sometimes take my laptop and go to the couch or go to his playroom or wherever he was and just be like working from there. And then he'd be ready for his afternoon nap around like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then so I would cluster a second burst of phone calls in the afternoon, and then he would again sleep for like another hour, hour and a half. And then same thing, he'd get up and I would get him like a little snack, and then I would like bust out the rest of my busy work or whatever. And then around like 5:30 or whatever the end of the day was for me, depending on the weather, we'd go for a walk. We'd go to like see like the ducks at the pond, or we'd go across to like the playground, or we'd go to McDonald's. They have their indoor gym if it was too hot out. That's how I would just figure out what his schedule, because his schedule was most important to me. That needed to happen. That wasn't going to change. And so it's like, okay, I know, and I was lucky. I know not everybody's child does this. So like I was very, very fortunate. I'm very aware of that. But I was very lucky that mine was like clockwork with his naps. Like he was such a passionate sleeper. It needed to happen. So that worked for me, like, because if he wasn't like that in the first year of his life, oh my God, I don't know what I would have done.
I know.
I would have figured it out, but like, holy.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah, you would just be like talking to him, talking to your person on the phone, talking to him. Like,
Yeah.
it would be chaotic, but you would have made it work.
And another thing too that I have noticed is like a lot of times people get it. Like with so many people working remotely, like I'll have moments where a coworker's like, "Hey, do you have a minute?" I'm like, "Well, if you don't mind a crazy toddler in the background making dinosaur noises, sure,
Right.
we got this." She's like, "Girl, I'm the same way. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So a lot of times people get it, and it humanizes you.
Right.
And same thing with like candidates that I talk to or clients. I'm just like, okay, fair warning. My toddler's in the background. He's a little crazy today. Oh, don't worry. I have a 3-year-old next to me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know, and so like
Right.
it sets the tone for the meeting to be less like stiff and more
Right.
casual.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like I get more from people that way because
Yeah.
it just like humanizes the phone call
Right.
and makes it like way more chill than it would have been
makes
before.
it a lot better. Yeah, I agree. I've noticed that too, for sure.
Hey mamas, are you someone who's 35 plus and struggled with fertility, endured a miscarriage, experienced heartbreaking fostering or adoption challenges, or were perhaps flat out told by a doctor that you will never conceive naturally, and despite the odds, eventually found your happy ending by becoming a mama?
Send us your story at geriatricmamas.com. We would love to feature your journey to motherhood on a future Geriatric Mamas episode.
So, Jess, what advice do you have for moms who are seeking flexible work?
I mean, honestly, now is the time to do it. There are a lot of companies that have this big back to work initiative that is happening, and that's not going to stick. Like, I don't see that sticking. It's turning away a lot of really good candidates. They're all jumping ship and they're finding remote work because they're like, no, I've proven I can do this remote. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So I would say don't compromise. Don't settle for less. You know what you want. And don't tell anybody you have to go into the office.
Right.
Like I had a corporate recruiter tell me when I was entertaining looking for different employment before I was invited to leave. I had a recruiter say like, oh, you know, probably aren't going to find a remote job and all these jobs have to be on site. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not taking no for an answer. I know you're wrong. I know I can find remote and maybe I need to look a little bit longer. Maybe I need to be a little bit more creative. I was willing to take a pay cut to work from home.
Right.
Because to me, that was more valuable. So I would say stick to your guns. Don't give up. Don't listen to what anybody says. Like, just keep pushing and be open-minded too.
Yeah.
And also, I would say write down, I'm a huge advocate for lists. Like, write down a list of all the things that are important to you in a job that you really like, all of your skills and all of the like the things that you really enjoy doing. And then see how, like, put it into Chat GPT and see like, what can I do with this? You know, like it kind of reminds me of, you know, those things where you can plug in all the ingredients you have in your pantry and then it'll pull like recipes for you. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'm just going up, I actually haven't tried this, but now I'm thinking like, this is actually a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a good
literally
idea.
put out all of that, put it into Chat GPT and see what Chat GPT says about like the types of jobs that you'd be great at. And then structure resumes that really highlight those skills.
Yeah.
And then like look at people that you admire that have the lifestyle that you would want and figure out like, what are they doing?
Right. Yeah.
Did they have a
Exactly.
rich husband? Well, go visit a senior citizen's home. I'm just kidding.
That's where our next cocktail hour is.
There it is.
So, now before we wrap up, here are some quick tips for all you amazing mamas out there. Set boundaries. Make sure work hours are just that, work hours. Set up a dedicated space if possible. Prioritize self-care. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Take some time each day, even if it's just a few minutes for yourself. This is when I was in the 5 a.m. club.
I literally am just laughing at this because you know how many meetings I take off camera because I have a full-on face mask on?
Yeah. We've even recorded podcast episodes with
I
this.
know. Like my work bestie Alexandra will be like, "Girl, you're off camera." I was like, "I have a face mask on, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say I'm having tech issues."
Yeah.
so it's
There you
fine.
go.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. Engage in continuous learning and networking. Online courses and social media can be great resources and boost your career while allowing you to stay home.
So to all the mamas listening, you're doing an incredible job. and every family's journey is unique. Seek out the paths that work best for you and yours. Remember, the most important work you'll ever do will be within the walls of your home.
It reminds me of that quote, you can be replaced in work, but you can't be replaced at home.
Yeah, it's so true. And that's such a sad, humbling realization.
Yeah.
Especially when you've devoted so much of yourself to a company, you are replaceable.
Yeah. And I've seen it happen
You
so
are
many
just
times.
a number.
Yeah.
And nobody ever on their deathbed looks back, or not even on your deathbed, being old as fuck, and looks back at their life and says, I wish I worked more.
Right.
Like, nobody. But what they do is they say, I wish I was more present. I wish I was more involved. I wish I slowed down. I wish I soaked it all in.
It reminds me of like those older people that you see who are just like on Instagram and they have like all these wicked funny things to say and they're literally never, no one even raises the point of work. Work is not touched. There's nothing mentioned about work. It's all about life.
I make a conscious effort because for a while, all I was talking about was work. And it was just very draining. I personally, when I close my laptop, I have nothing more to say about it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I focus on Hayden. I focus on my personal life, what's going on with you, our podcast. That's it. Like when the laptop is down, I'm done. I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I just had like a lot of really like significant changes happen at work, and my family are like, you don't ever talk about it. Like, is everything okay? And I'm like, no, it's kind of a dumpster fire, but it's fine. It's cool. They're like, do you want to talk about it? Nope. Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm
Right.
good. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't want, they have enough of my time. They don't need any more of my energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I do on occasion make Mike listen to our podcast episodes and then ask him what he
Well,
thought
I think the
about it.
podcast is different because this is a passion project for
Right,
us. This
yeah.
is like something that we're doing for us. We are the bosses.
Right.
It would be different if my employer was a company I owned, but
Yeah.
it's not, you know? So,
Yeah.
like, I appreciate the job. I appreciate everything that they give me. I do love it, but my family is more important.
Right, exactly. 100%.
Well, thank you, everyone, for listening. Be sure to tune in next week. Your support is keeping the podcast going. You can help by following, subscribing, rating, reviewing, and especially by telling a friend to listen anywhere or watch on YouTube.
For more info, you can check our website at www.geriatricmamas.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at geriatric_mamas, on YouTube at Geriatric Mamas, Twitter at Geriatric Mamas, and follow our group page on Facebook, Geriatric Mamas.
If you have a topic idea that you'd like us to discuss, are interested in being a guest, or simply have a funny geriatric story to tell, you can go to geriatricmamas.com and hit be a guest or send us your story.
Bye!
Bye-bye. Oops, we did it
Somehow
again.
accidentally
We
muted.
forgot to unmute.
Yeah.
We got lost in our conversation.
Many companies are now offering remote positions in fields like writing, graphing.
Many companies are now offering remote positions in the field, like writing, skin grafting, brain surgery, colonoscopies.
We can do that for my living room, duh. My at-home office. Many companies. Oh man.
Is it hot in here? Is this part of the dying process?
I'm
Like-
sorry, I can't help
It's lifestyle also.
Let's talk about this.
What?
When I go in and I like am editing this, it always says in the show notes that it creates and whatever we were talking about. I have to cut the parts. It's like an in-depth conversation about neighbors yelling at each other. Alright, we're good. We are back.
We're back.
We are live. Alright.
Have a business idea or a crafty side project you wanted to turn into a little side hustle? Well, guess what? That's great for attachment.
I'm gonna spin it so differently. Right? Good memes. I mean, she's literally using her daily life, her relatable things, and like what?
Sorry, I thought you were gonna say, look at me.
Oh.
What is wrong with us today? Gonna get through this. Gonna get through it.
would love
Give
to
me a
see-
minute.
It took you a minute for your vision to change after you thought I was talking about my.
I literally was like, wow, where are we going with this?
No.
I thought you would be like, look at me, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm thriving.
We are killing it over here at this podcast. Now, before we wrap up, here are some quip tips.
Here's some quip, whips. To all you mamas.
What is it?
What the hell is the problem?
You mamas.
You mamas.